Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how they know what they are doing. We have a lot of self-aware witches out here. They know what they are doing. In today's society, we have a lot of beings who are in a space of teaching and sharing knowledge and information, and they are giving all these weird names and titles and descriptions to people who are actually aware of their actions. If you ever dealt with any of these demons, witches, narcos, full-time, part-time, you understand that they know what they are doing. They know. I know sometimes it seems as though they are like playing slow or dumb. But you gotta remember, a wise man can play a fool, but a fool can never play a wise man. A wise man can play a fool, but a fool can never play a wise man. And in today's society, we got a lot of these beings, they tell on themselves. They use the gray areas to manipulate situations, circumstances. The gray area, yin, yang, black, white. However you're seeing it, it could be white and then black. It doesn't make a difference, color spectrum. But in the middle of that yin yang, you got a gray line. That's the gray area. That's where they like to hang out at. It's easier to manipulate people when you are hanging out in the gray area. You know, it's never any directness or straightforwardness unless it's like pertaining to themselves. But I had some situations recently, and I had one of the witches tell on themselves, you know, just regular engagements, and they threw it out there as a joke. But if you ever notice that the demon jokes don't even be funny, it's like they don't even know how to joke properly. So anytime they say something that seems like it's supposed to be funny or a joke, I always my first, you know, insight, my first intake of the information when I'm processing is, this is not how they operate. So I always have to dive deeper. But I had one of these little witches try to tell me a while ago that, and they just said it jokingly, like they don't like to take accountability. And for me, I dealt with enough weird beings out here to understand that once you show me that you using this witchy playbook, I have no choice but to take you on those actions. You're showing and choosing how you perpetrate this playbook. You may use different words, but I understand where it's still coming from. So when they said that, it made me kind of like smirk in the inside, because I already knew that they was a witch. And in the back of my mind, in my spirit world, I just kept thinking, damn, boy, you know. And sometimes I have myself in a space of, this may seem a little arrogant, but sometimes I be in a space to where I want to be proven wrong. It's like the information that I be receiving from source sometimes, it just be like, it be so accurate that a lot of the times I don't even want to share it, because when you walk a certain way already, people already take you as being arrogant or cocky or conceited or whatever the hell they want to call it, you know. And for me, I just done a lot of reflecting. I do a lot of spiritual work. I process a lot of the inside realm, and I put things together with the outside realm. You know, I don't just let things skate past by me. One way you always going to be able to tell that they know what they doing is because usually after they do something witchy and you either was about to call them out on it or you did call them out on it, they usually do some weird vanishing act or stop engaging with you for a little while, try to disappear for a little while. Still near the airport, y'all chill. Y'all chill. they still usually show you that they know that they was aware of what they was doing. So it's kind of like, I could use the example that I used in one of my recent videos of what one of my associates, my male associates, and how he was like just kind of being a little disrespectful to my energy, and I couldn't allow that shit. But he knew that he had rubbed me the wrong way. He already know my vibes. Like most people that deal with me in real life, you know, they know the vibes. So when he did that little thing that he did when we was over the phone engaging and communicating, I hadn't talked to him for a while. It's been like almost 2 weeks since I talked to him now. He sent me an Instagram reel, just tagged me in it to try to get my attention. But you know, that's just a heat check to see if you okay with how they treated you before, what they did to you. Because they aware. These people are very shitty, nasty, disgusting beings. I don't put anything past any of them. My mom's, she was aware of what she was doing. If she wasn't, I addressed her when I got older, and she still chose to duck around and not take accountability. Now, our relationship is not that bad now. That's because I understand, okay, when I deal with this rattlesnake, I got to keep it in this vase. You know what I mean? I got to keep some parameters and barriers up on there. People got pet snakes. You know, people got pet tigers, lions. You know, you can maintain certain energies just long as you know how to manage that energy. So for me and my mom's, there ain't no hate relationship. But in the back of my spirit world, it's always going to be that little piece right there because she never had that conversation with me. And I tried to even get her to sit down with me and all my other siblings, because my mom did a good job at making sure me and all my siblings didn't really get along that well. But for a couple of us, we still kind of kept our relationships together, but my mom put us all against each other. So it was always, oh, I'm the bad guy to all my siblings. So it'd be just random situations where they'd be like, hey, why you talk to mommy like this? Or mommy said you cussed her out or yell at her. And I'm like, damn, every 5 seconds, like, she over here trying to paint me as this bad guy when that's not even the life I'm walking. Like, why are you not saying what you did to create that situation? You realize you're the elder, right? That means you was my first primary teacher. No, you're not still my teacher now, but that was your space, you know? So how do you let the student rise up elevation-wise past the teacher? It's a lot of examples I could think of. I'm just kind of running them down as they bump across the space of just how they always know what they are doing. They always aware. I had another witch check in with me like last week sometime. I didn't respond. My mini had the phone or whatever. But then they sent me a message the following week. I guess because I didn't respond and I didn't even see it. And then I didn't have the number saved in my phone. Oh, you could come get your stuff in from the house and blah, 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 blah. I was like, it had been like over a year. I'm like, bitch, I thought you been through that away. I don't care about that stuff. One thing about me and material items, I don't care. I am not one of them beings who, I spent a good portion of my life worried about shopping and staying fresh and having the fresh shoes on, the freshest clothes and all that shit. I'm not on that vibration no more. Sorry, if that's what people need and what people want, that's not me over here. I take care of myself, but that is not my number one thing on my to-do list. Not anymore. That's extremely like low vibrational to me now. Even though we do have to present ourselves a certain way when we go out to certain places, but for me, my light is just already, most of our lights is already so crazy. Like, you attracting more attention to yourself when you start turning up the outside of you. So even like this right here is still dressed down for me, but it still draws attention even when I move around. So it's a very weird space to kind of have to operate in. But once you start going down this path and you start doing more like comparing notes and contrasting, you're gonna realize these people are not stupid. These people are not retarded. I got old kind of where I used to say this, right? Like, when I call them stupid or I use the word like retarded, that's like me being nice, because really they are demonic and they do a lot of evil intended stuff. And because we use the word demonic and evil so much, it doesn't really have the same condensation as, you know, something darker and harder and something more like disgusting. very, very disgusting. They don't never feel any remorse because they do it on purpose. It's like if I just ran over and pushed my daughter in the water because I felt like it, I don't have to be remorseful because I felt like doing it. A lot of these beings out here are self-aware witches. They are actually doing some studying and learning on their private time. They just learning how to do things the demonic way. So when we out here engaging with people, I kind of like the fact that, you know, when you listen to some of that narcissist information when they was teaching it, I used to tap in like years and years and years ago when I was first learning about like the labels they was using. Not really the information, but more so about the labels. Tapping into that information, you'll realize how much energy they actually put into staying in that playbook. I had another person recently was trying to engage with me, and I was like, this is what I do right here. They looked at it, the outside, and they was like, oh, you probably not gonna like me. My cup is always half empty and I complain a lot. And I'm like, damn, you should just delete yourself right away. But they are aware. They are aware. They're always aware of what they're doing. You have to remember that they process the same way we do. I know people like to say, oh, they're like empty vessels. No. If it's an empty vessel, most likely it's going to be a dead body. It's going to be a piece of slab meat laying out somewhere. But all of these vessels have a spiritual being within maintaining it. And then you have other entities trying to get inside to access this vessel. So when you have to deal with these self-aware witches out here, you have to understand that they very skilled at what they do. Most of them been working this playbook since they was young. So even when you listen to like some of this weird dating advice out here, like the red pill, that shit is like for demonic men learning how to grab demonic women. Every time I used to try to listen to it, I'm like, yo, you teaching me how to play a fucking game. I don't want to play this game. I'm going to come to the table. If I fuck with you like that, I'm going to put it on the table. I'm going to let you know. If you decide to play games, I remove myself. If I don't want to take it there with you, I'll let you know, hey, that's not going to be the space, and I won't take it there with you. But even listening to a lot of that witchy information, it just puts you in a space of showing you how aware everyone is of their actions. So when we say that people aren't aware, it's just us pushing off accountability and then just us making excuses, you know. I don't give no excuses. If you got $1,000 phone and you just spend it watching TikToks and other silly shit, then that's on you. If you got one of them robot TVs in your house and you just spend your time watching Netflix and Hulu and Amazon and shit, that's on you. But that's all by choice. We all understand with free choice and free will, that's like a big, huge, that's like 60 to 70% of your power coming from the Creator. Why do you think that these demons and devils have free reign to do what they do out here? Free will and free choice. Don't put anything past them. These people are not that dumb. They are really aware. They just figured out ways to duck and maneuver and hide and like escape artists. But anytime I had to deal with some witches or some warlords, some demons, any of that mess, like, they was always aware. Anytime I dealt with somebody that did something to me that wasn't aware, they was extremely apologetic. I'm not talking about the fake apology. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have did this. Soon as you start pointing the finger, bitch, you're wrong, and you are doing this, you have a whole nother intention behind why you're saying this. You want to pull me back in or get me to let my guard down, or you just want to try to beat through my defense, because some people don't always try to put your guard down. Some people just feel like they can outpower your guards. Some people feel like they can outpower your guards. It don't matter. You can walk around, like I said, keep yourself protected at all times, but you still will have people that, okay, if you walk up with a knife, they pulling up with a sword. That's longer. You walk up with a little pistol, they done pulled up with a rocket launcher. Like, it's gonna be people entities out here that will try to outpower you, and they are aware of what they are doing. You only got a small window from having a new engagement before you peg somebody in a certain category. The narcs and the demons and all these other playbooks, you know, when you learn that information, because I was making a point when I was saying it earlier, they always like to say, there are no gray areas with the narcissist. You know, you're either all good or you're all bad. Yeah, and when I hear that information, I be thinking, damn, either I'm a narcissist or my team uses that same method. Because you either moving with me, motherfucker, or you against me. You either moving with the creator or you not. A lot of this stuff that they doing and using, it's just been our sauce flipped. They aren't creators. They steal and kill and destroy, and they flip shit. So they'll let one of us create a clubhouse right here off of this tree, or like some house on the water, and then they'll like the idea and concept, and they'll come steal it, take it, and then they'll repackage it as if it's their own. This has been going on. You gotta remember, all they doing is looking for shortcuts, so they have to focus their energy extremely hard. And when you are processing that way, because for me, to be in this light as long as I am, I'm always having my talks with the creator. I'm always mindful of the food I put in my body, you know, whether it's through my mouth, through my eyes, or through my ears, because we eat in 3 different ways. I have to work at this shit consistently, you know, staying in my workout regimens. I gotta be consistent, making sure that, you know, I don't let these witches take me off my path, because I do got my mini, who I'm also pushing for in the real lifetime outside of everybody else in the spiritual realm that I'm fighting for, that's on my team. These beings are aware, man. The more you keep pushing that shit off and making it seem, oh, they don't know. Nah, they know. They know. They know. They just are famous for trying to play dumb. Because it's easier for you to look at a child and to teach them, because you assume that they don't know or have the information or access to it. Nah, these beings do. You gotta stop giving them all these excuses and all these passes for why they doing what they do. If you choose to engage with some of these beings, like after you done already seen the signs, that's on you. You just have to be extra mindful. For me, sometimes I do still engage. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes, one, because I usually can learn more when I dive in deeper. The only thing with diving in deeper is you're gonna have to experience a little bit more pain. The only thing with diving in deeper over there is you got experience. I know the dark side. I know that vibration. I know they realm extremely well. So for me, it's not as painful diving in deeper to learn, to get that insight and information to pull out, you know, to be able to use for my life, to be able to use for my minis, to be able to share with the universe, because we all fighting this battle. But a lot of us be feeling bad for them, because we could see how weak they are on the inside. You know, we see the spiritual being. They always say, oh, you see that little light in there? Nah, we see the spiritual. We see whose car it is. That's Sarah's car. Y'all see Sarah right there? But Sarah ain't driving the car. Ashley's driving the car, not Sarah. I see John over there driving. That's John's car. You see him standing beside it? You're right, he's standing beside it, because David done put his ass in the driver's seat. So that's where we get this concept from. Oh yeah, well, you know, you see a little bit of light, you see a little bit of them in there, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Yeah, it's kind of like when you look at an old picture and an old memory, you be like, damn, I remember those days, and you start reminiscing and it feel good, and then you start thinking about the transition afterwards. You like, damn, I ain't in that space no more. Damn, they not in that space no more. Damn, man, we came a long way from that place right there. Man, when I say you have to be extremely aware on all levels, because we are highly empathetic, we do care a lot, you just have to minimize. You have to minimize how many excuses you give them. You have to minimize how many passes you give them. Because I'm never going to tell nobody to give nobody no excuses, or never give nobody no passes, because you can't say come to the creator and be forgiven for what you've done, but you not out here giving that same love and light back out. That's what the fuck we do. Why you think we got so many knife wounds in our back? You know what I'm saying? I know I got at least 100 spiritual knife wounds in my back, at least at the minimum. It's like them old slavery whiplashes, you know what I mean? And from the movies and stuff. I didn't live in that day and age, so I don't know. I'm not even going to dive into that subject right now. But just being mindful of these things, you know? Everything that they do is ill intention. They process. There are beings, they are self-aware demons and self-aware witches. You're not going to just have access to all this information and not use it. I cannot run into a woman right now and then, you know, it's just all thong, ass, butt cheeks, titties, everything is just hanging out. I take my daughter, me and my daughter could leave out the house and she's pointing stuff out to me that the girls is wearing. Daddy, that's nasty. Or Daddy, why she wearing that? Or Daddy, why she's wearing this? And then my world's just like, It reminded me of when I used to be up in DC. And if anybody knows the DC area, I want to say it's W Street. I want to say it's W Street. It's the prostitution strip where you can catch all the whores dressed in whatever. That's how I feel when I leave the house. You want to wear your leggings? Cover your motherfucking ass up. Because you just do it like, oh, I'm just comfortable, I'm just me. It's a spiritual war going on. So now you got other men out here that's being drawn and attracted to it because men are visual creatures. So you trying to make us go against our natural instincts, for one, and then you making us have to work even harder at discipline. It wasn't as hard to discipline back in the days because man and woman was together. Communities were vibing together. You know, David was married to Sarah. You know, Jolie was married to Adam. So you already knew they had a male protection provider right there. So a lot of that shit wasn't even being crossed. A lot of it wasn't even being crossed. But in today's society, we literally walking outside and it's whores everywhere. That's all you see is whores everywhere. And they be like, oh, I'm not a whore. You want my number? No, I can't talk to you. How much money do you have? It's literally like prostitution strips everywhere you turn out here. These witches are aware. Especially if you're dealing with any of them or you see, if I ever hear one of them say, yeah, I'm a bad bitch. Bitch is the new witch. Bad is not good. They're using the reverse psychology on you already, but because it was made normal, it just flies right over everybody's head. You don't hear about witches because they're here. You don't hear about the mafia because it's still here. They don't talk about slavery because it's still here. Come on, all of them. If they are aware at the highest levels, then you have to understand that the lower level ones are going to be aware as well too. I know we want to peg them and put them off in these weird spaces and all this shit, but some of the oppositions are extremely intelligent. Some of them are, you know? Not saying that what they doing is right or is good or anything in that manner, but some of them are intelligent in that playbook. It's disgusting, it's demonic, but some of them has studied and perfected that book to the T. And a lot of them started when they was young. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We meeting them in teenage years and 20s and 30s, and then by then a lot of them have already been through a lot of weird different programmings and experiences. These are a lot of self-aware witches and warlords out here. If you know that it's like not rewarding or fulfilling to be showing off your body out here in public and trying to receive all this attention, then you already know what vibes it is. You trying to manipulate the creator information. You know, you trying to manipulate natural law. And that shit ain't right, but it is what it is. That's why I'm just saying, like, we have to be aware. A lot of these people know what they doing. I couldn't take my daughter out in public somewhere, even if I met somebody and they dress like the prostitutes on W Street. Only thing is, it's not W Street, it's all the streets. All the streets, all the streets, all the streets. To where they don't even care about a man protection was always first, because you have to protect their physical body and you have to protect their mind, their heart. You have to protect this. But now it's because of social media and because all the I'm gonna stop saying social media. I'm gonna fix that right now. Fuck, I hate when I point the finger at things that's not the issue. Social media got us to where we are right now. It's these demons and this weird stuff. I couldn't take a female out with me. I'm not a fan of public beaches anymore because it really just of these past 2 years, because it's all just really sexualized. And then me trying to take my daughter out to some of these places, it was just really weird. So now I do the private beach thing, or I find different secluded. I just figure out ways to work around what society is telling me to do. Figure out ways to work around it, you know. But I have been running up pretty long, man. They are self-aware out here. They know what they are doing. They're running, ducking, hiding. They're doing things with evil, ill intentions on purpose. And they're never going to apologize, and you won't ever get a real apology. If somebody says, I'm sorry, that's not an apology. An apology is something that is like when you write somebody a greeting card, not buy it from Hallmark. That's what an apology is. You have to visualize these things in here. Okay, if they just saying I'm sorry, I gotta picture them just going to get a 99-cent or a $5 Hallmark card. You ain't make it. You ain't have to put the words in there. You ain't do anything. You just signed it. Love me. You know? And it's like, that's cool and all, but that don't take as much effort and energy as it does to actually make the card, to write the card, to draw in the card, to come up with something creative, fun to say, you know, to show that you really do care about this person that you want to give this energy into. We have to be mindful of these things, you know. Keep your protection, your guards, keep everything with you at all times. The best thing I could do is just put emphasis on you not going to turn your empathy down. You have to minimize how many opportunities you give. Don't beat yourself down over even giving an opportunity, because it's what we do. I know people like, oh, it's in God's hands. But people also say we are made in the likeness of God. And depending on what books you believe in, you are given certain powers to trample over certain entities out here. Come on now. It's like you want to believe in page 2, but then you don't believe in page 931. Like, if you're gonna follow it and believe in it, take it all. I hate when people say, it's in the Lord's hands. Like, you know how many people are homeless and on these corners? Like, even my town, we got more people on the corners with signs and shit. And it's just like, what they say, if you follow those books, faith is dead without works. So it don't make sense for people to say faith is dead without works, and then you say, oh, just leave it in the Lord's hands. It's like, that's why I don't follow any religions, but I don't knock them either, you know, because a lot of stuff be contradictory when you like trying to push yourself to a better space. It's like it's trying to make you be submissive to these demonic entities out here. It's like when I look at nature, another lion ain't gonna let no other lion just run up in their den. You know what I mean? You can look at plenty of like birds. You know, once you touch their nest, they don't even go back to it. You violate it. Once you violate that, birds don't even give no more chances. You get one chance to touch their nest and it is a wrap. You know what I mean? It's a wrap. But don't put anything past them, you know? It's all done with ill will. I don't care. People like, oh man, they just selfish. You doing it with ill intentions. It's two people right here. It's multiple people. You supposed to be considerate of all the beings that's in your space. At least that's the way my team processes information. I cannot speak for them over there, you know, because their shit is always the opposite of us over here. You know what I mean? But don't ever, you know, stop being a loving being. Don't ever stop being highly empathetic. You just have to be more stern and be more willing to punch yourself sometimes, opposed from constantly giving them excuses and passes. Limited. If you one of them people that always gave 10 passes, all right, well, this season I'm only giving out 3 passes this season, all right? First one, all right, boom. Second one, boom. Third one, I got to do something about it. We can't force other people to... We can't push people to change and shift and to do these other things, but what we can do is we can change and shift ourselves. We can change our reaction time. you know, how we respond to it. So that's why when people do certain things, it's like, I ain't about to chase you around. I'll change my actions. It's a simple process. I done moved around my whole life and life still continued, you know. But tap into everything down below. I've been running it up. Appreciate everybody showing mad love. Everybody that's been tapping into the Instagram. I have been getting back to the voice messages. I am responsive. I got my mini this with me right now, but some days be a little bit crazy and busier. So, you know, I usually try to get back within 24 hours, 48 hours max as far as responding, you know. But I appreciate everybody showing the love, and I see the community building down below. That's what we here for, you know. That's what we here for. We got to pull this thing together by any means necessary, you know. I appreciate all y'all and the love and support. We gonna continue to grind, and I'm gonna continue to keep fighting for my team. I got y'all in the spiritual realm. I promise you, I got you in the spiritual realm. I be doing this shit daily and consistently. You know how many people was like, yeah, I think you was in my dreams, or I think you had walked me here or walked me there somewhere. And it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if I did, because that's what I do. You know, the bag isn't always going to show it or reflect it in real lifetime, but that ain't never going to stop me from putting in this work. You know, we got lots of riches waiting for us when we leave this realm. I just got to do my part while I'm here. You know what I mean? Tap in everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.